Plagiarism is defined as the use of somebody else's work, language, thoughts, ideas, or expressions without proper attribution. Plagiarism does not only occur in print media, television, advertising, publishing, and academia. Moreover, the improvement of the internet and the development of technologies have opened unprecedented opportunities for student plagiarism, since gathering information on the internet is just a mouse click away. For this reason, it has been the aim of this study to look into the attitudes and practices of Filipino students regarding online plagiarism. The present study focuses on the attitudes and practices of undergraduate students regarding online plagiarism and relationship of variables such as incidence of traditional and internet plagiarism, student ethics, perception of faculty ethics, and perception of institutional punishment, the plagiarism patterns of the participants without seeing past through their personality. The researchers used the online disinhibition effect and theory of planned behavior in trying to make sense of the findings they got through the survey. Siller's research on online disinhibition effect posits that some people self-disclose or act out more frequently or intensely than they would in person. On the other hand, the theory of planned behavior started as the theory of reasoned action in 1980 to predict an individual's intention to engage in a behavior at a specific time and place. The design of the present study was influenced by the study of Scanlon and Newman, which looked into the internet plagiarism of college students. The researchers of the present study thought that it would be very helpful to apply the measures of Scanlon and Newman, who wanted to understand attitudes and practices of undergraduate students regarding online plagiarism to Filipino students. We found out that majority of the respondents have committed or continue to commit acts of plagiarism, such as copying text and inserting it in a paper without citation, copying an entire paper without citation, and using the internet to copy text and insert it in a paper without citation, with frequency of committing such acts ranging from rarely to often. Using the internet to copy text and insert it in a paper without citation was the most committed act of plagiarism among the students, with frequency of being rarely done by the students. Purchasing a paper from a term paper mill, such as establishments around Recto, on the other hand, was the least committed act of plagiarism, with almost no one committing it except for one respondent. There was a significant difference in the scores for handing in someone else's writing as one's own and using the internet to copy text and handing it in as one's own, meaning students differently perceive traditional plagiarism and plagiarism through the internet. The degree to which students see this differently should be studied in the future. Students' perception of their professors' disapproval of traditional plagiarism, on the other hand, is statistically no different than their perception of their professors' disapproval of plagiarism through the internet. The students perceive the punishability of purchasing papers from term paper mills such as establishments from Recto differently from how they perceive the punishability of purchasing papers from online term paper mills, meaning they see purchasing of papers from online paper mills deserving less punishment than buying papers from physical term paper mills. For the answers on the open-ended questions in the survey form, we categorize the answers according to themes. The first theme to surface is that the ends of committing plagiarism doesn't justify its means. Students think, regardless of intentional or unintentional, plagiarism is undeniably wrong. That, like stealing, it is a serious crime. And finally, that credit should always be given where credit is due. Students also find it hard to tell when and where to draw the line. They think that sometimes a person unintentionally or accidentally commits the act of plagiarism. They know that as long as proper citation is done, using others' work is okay. Students also think that if the idea is already of general knowledge, it is no longer wrong to use it without citations. However, students still are baffled as to what comprises common and general knowledge. They know that they are not committing plagiarism if the author himself or herself gave his or her permission, and if it is anonymously written, as well as when it is not published or patented. Students think that they should be informed of the sanctions, punishments, repercussions, or implications of committing plagiarism, including implications of plagiarism to the authors of copyrighted materials. They feel that enhancing their knowledge and our awareness through proper education is necessary. Students also feel that professors should be stricter and firmer in enforcing or applying necessary sanctions or punishments, know their students' style of writing, be diligent in checking their students' work, threaten students about the consequences of plagiarism, and should always demonstrate ways in which one can get caught. Students also think that professors should present alternatives such as teach students proper techniques of paraphrasing and using proper citations, appreciate students' novel ideas, appreciate ideas that may not have been voiced out frequently but still has merit, show students that critical thinking comes from knowing things on his or her own and not just from copying from someone else, emphasize that classes are about learning and not about grades, give more lenient deadlines, decrease research paperworks and increase investigatory works, and foster a stimulating atmosphere for learning. With these findings, we now present you the guidelines we created that would hopefully help the students.